be gluing this in. From this point on, we will be using things that is in your quarter 2 packet. If you did not use some of the things in the quarter 1 packet, just put them aside. I might pull them out a little bit later, but right now I want to be working on quarter 2 packet. So this is something that we are going to be referring to as we do our editing this week. So you are going to cut this out and glue this on your next page. I'm going to be using all of these marks during my practice and my models for you. When I want to take something out, I'm just going to cross it off like that. If I want to add a period, I do it in a circle. If I want to do a question, I do that with a circle. And if I want exclamation, I do that with a circle. Or I could use these things called carets. You can do it that way. There are 2 things that I could do. On top of a word that needs to be fixed with spelling, you could put an SP, or you could cross off the word. You could add quotation marks using these carets, add an apostrophe, add a comma. If I have a R and I want to make it a lowercase, I'm going to cross it off. If I have a lowercase r and I want to make it an uppercase, I want to write it like that. If I want to add a hyphen, caret. If I have like a big space here, I can say close that space. If I want to add a word or letter, I do that. And I put my word and letter above. Underline words and add a colon. So those are the biggest things that we're going to be looking at. You have this page right here. We are going to cut it out just around the edges. You don't have to cut it perfectly, but we're going to cut it out and we are going to fill it out. So go ahead and start cutting that. And then I will fill it out with you. Cups helps us edit. Last week, we did revising. Revising is when you change things. Revising is when you move things around, when you add things in, and it is about your content. Editing is when you have all the words in there. You just have to make sure they're spelled right, you use the right punctuation, spelling, things like that. So we go through cups. The first thing we're going to work on, which is what we're going to work on today, is capitalization. Making sure all proper nouns are capitalized and all which are names and the beginning of sentences and things like that. Then we talk about usage, which is, are we using the words correctly? Are we using the verbs correctly? The next one is punctuation. Let me try that again. Punctuation, which is our periods, our commas, our question marks, our semicolons, our colons, our quotation marks and things. And then our last one is, of course, spelling. We will be working on this all throughout the week. Now, the way that it's going to be set up is that I do not have my actual essay that I wrote that we talked about last week, because I don't have specific examples of the errors. So I have different versions of each of the essay to work on each of these with mistakes and capitalization and one and then usage and so forth. You have copies of all of them in your packet, so you'll be gluing them in as I go. So you're going to cut this out and you're going to glue it, and don't forget you're going to glue it in.